Shannon.
And I'm Kim.
And you are listening to From Ring to Veil,
a wedding planning podcast,
where we share tips and information to help you plan the wedding of your dreams.
Without all the stress.
Be an Awesome Wedding Guest, episode number 147.
Before we get started, we got to let you know today is the last day to get in our giveaway. If you are listening on October 27th, we are going to be choosing a winner tonight. So please get your entry in today. If you're listening to this after the 27th, wah, wah, wah.
We'll have another giveaway sometime soon, hopefully.
Yes, we will. We will. And I'm thinking holidays.
Yeah.
That would be a fun one. We are talking about wedding guests today.
How to be an awesome wedding guest today.
Right. So we want you to share this with your wedding guests so they know how to act at your wedding. We've talked about this before, but we see a lot of questions and we see a lot of room for improvement. So we thought we would share more than a few tips on how to be an awesome wedding guest.
So being a guest at a wedding has become kind of difficult, I guess you can say, with modern technology and such.
A lot more rules.
Right. So how do you be an awesome guest? And we're going to give you some tips.
Number one, always and forever, will be RSVP ASAP.
Yes.
RSVP as absolutely as soon as you can and let them know yes or no. Do not wait till the last minute.
And if you're really good friends with them, you can say, hey, I know I'm coming. This is just my first, I haven't mailed it back officially or went to your website and RSVP'd officially, but yes, I am coming. But number two is you have to RSVP officially. That means either return the card that came in your invitation or go to their website and RSVP that way.
And that includes everything, like if they ask you your meals and if you have kids or all of the stuff that they ask you about, even if they need to reserve a room for you.
Right.
Everything that comes in that envelope.
Right.
Or on the website.
Right.
Which I think is way easier, but that's, my opinion. All right. Next one is share your dietary requirements. If you are highly allergic to peanuts or something else, let them know so that they can have a prepared meal for you. Unless you plan on bringing your own. Maybe sometimes people are very, very strict with your dietary requirements, so it might be easier if you bring your own. So you know your situation, but let them know of your situation too. And not just, I don't like fish. You know what I mean?
That's Kim and I, but anyway.
It has to be real dietary requirements. There you go.
Number 4 is bring a gift. Yes, you are required to bring a gift.
That's right. That's what they expect. And number 5, arrive on time. Come on, people. I'm an on time or a little early person. That's me. And I feel it's very disrespectful and rude to be late, especially as something as important as this. Usually you have a little leeway only because weddings rarely start right on time, but you should be on time.
And it's arrive on time, not 30 to an hour early.
Right.
Because there's people still setting up an hour to 30 minutes before the ceremony starts. So don't arrive early. Don't just sit around and, get in people's way. Arrive 15 minutes early, get your seat, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I say 20 to 15 minutes is plenty early.
Right.
I mean, it gives you time to fill out the guest book, drop off your gift, and find your seat. I mean, that's perfect timing.
Right.
Number 6.
Just goes with number 4.
Unless there's a special tradition, gifts should be from the registry or cash or check. Period. Don't go buying stuff at the dollar store that you found that you thought was cute if they didn't register for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's thoughtful, but it's not what is expected.
And what they usually put on the registry is what they need.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little bit of stuff of what they want. But usually the stuff on the registry is stuff that they need. So you buying them something off of the registry that they don't need, that's not nice.
And it just creates problems because they're most likely going to take it back. And then you're going to be like, how'd you like this? And they're like, oh, well, we didn't end up keeping it. We took it back. And it's just problems. Just be on the safe side. Buy what they ask for, or just give them cash to buy what they need or want.
Mm-hmm. Number 7 is dress appropriately. Don't dress like you're going out clubbing on a Saturday night. Don't wear white because that is the bride's color. Anywhere near white. Ivory, candlelight, champagne, nada. Okay.
Can I wear my platform shoes and fishnets and mini skirt and lacy black top that shows my bra through it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to embarrass yourself?
Hey, I mean, if it's a club-themed wedding, that's what I meant, then maybe yes. Or if it's an 80s themed wedding, then maybe you wear your 80s outfit, but otherwise, dress nice. And we've talked about dress before, and that would be like church nice, unless it's a really formal ceremony, and then you could maybe wear a ball gown. You know what I mean?
But usually on the invitation, it will say cocktail attire, formal wear is, black tie, or this is a casual wedding.
Right.
And casual does not mean flip-flops, cut-off shorts, and tank tops.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I'm just kidding. They may say beachwear even, and that doesn't mean your
bikini and a sarong. There, you could probably get away with flip-flops, but you need at least some kind of shorts and top or something for the men, and maybe a sundress for the women. Just don't. Not a bikini and a sarong. Sorry.
Aw. Number 8, check before you ask. So a lot of information will be either on the website or in the invitation. So check that first before you call and ask a question that was already answered on all the information that you were
And
getting.
that includes children. That includes gifts. That includes
dress wear.
Popular right now is no children at weddings. That's been a question that has been asked I don't know how many times in the last few months. It's very strict. They say no children. That means no children under 14, usually 12 to 14.
That's right. So that information should be there.
Yeah. All right. Number 9. Don't expect that you can bring a +1. This is on your invitation. When you receive it in the mail, it'll say Miss Jane Doe. Or it will say Miss Jane Doe and guest. If it just says Miss Jane Doe or Mr. Jim Doe, you don't bring a guest. If it says Mr. Jim Doe or Jane Doe and guest, you can bring a guest.
Also, wouldn't it be on the RSVP card for like your dinner and stuff? Two different. If you're bringing a +1, there'll be an option for their meal.
Right.
So it should be really plain as to whether you get a +1 or not.
Yeah. Don't write it in on the bottom of that RSVP card saying I'm bringing so-and-so when you weren't allowed to. People have strict numbers that they have to stay within because of budget constraints and catering constraints and the place that they're having their reception.
Right.
So they can only invite a certain amount of people.
Don't be offended if they don't say
Right.
you can bring one. It's not personal.
Right.
Really, it's not. Number 10, please don't assume that kids are invited. Like you just said, it's really popular right now not to have kids at weddings. And that's okay because that's the decision of the couple.
Right.
And you just have to go by that. I highly suggest babysitter and go have fun at your friend's wedding.
Right.
When my kids were little, that's what I would have done if I had a really good friend getting married.
Right. And plus, it's boring for them.
Yeah, it is.
If they're really young, it's boring for them. What are they going to do? Sit there and have their iPad on full blast and sit there and do,
Yeah.
Okay, my kids are older. So they're 16 and 14 right now. Right now, when you walk into a restaurant and you see a family with kids. Yesterday, we were in a restaurant. Okay, I got to tell the story. And there was a family sitting next to us. And this girl had practically her whole toy box sitting on the table. There was Barbies and beds and cars, and I'm like, what the heck? Anyway, and most always they have an iPad or a phone they play with at the table. Sometimes they're turned up loud. I know I'm sounding like I'm an old fogey, but it disturbs you.
Right.
So, I mean, something like that at a wedding is not cool.
Right. And you want to enjoy your time with your friends to celebrate.
Make it grown-up time.
Exactly. I highly suggest that. Just being through, we have older kids and thinking back and what's important and, things like that. All right. I won't get in too deep. All right. Next one. Number 9. No. Number 11.
Put the electronics away during the ceremony, especially if you're asked to. The unplugged ceremony is here to stay. I hope it is anyway. Do not get your phone out and take pictures or, tweet about the wedding or anything while the ceremony is going on.
Snapchat.
No.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Please don't do it. I would say do it before in the parking lot or as you got ready or whatever it is, or maybe at the reception if they say that's fine. But please respect the couple during the ceremony like that.
And respect the vendors. The photographer, they paid a lot of money for that photographer to photograph their wedding. Do not get in the way. Do not get in the aisle. Nothing.
All right, number 12.
Don't talk during ceremony and speeches. Who would do that?
I mean, so I learned, and I believe it was a big deal for my choir director. She taught us that if somebody's performing or speaking, it is exceptionally rude to get up and walk out while they're doing this. And that includes church, preaching. If somebody's up there giving their best, no matter what it is, getting up and leaving to go to the bathroom or talking and disturbing everybody around you, it's so rude.
Yeah.
It's very rude.
So number 13 goes along with that. Don't go to the bathroom unless it's an emergency.
Especially during the ceremony.
Right.
All right, if it's in between or at the reception, of course. But not during speech time.
Yeah.
If you can hold it.
Yeah. Just because your coffee kicked in, does that mean you need to... Anyway.
Oh. These are simple rules, but people forget them, and we're just trying to remind you guys that just to think about what you're doing, so you're not coming off as rude. Number 14, keep the conversation with the newlyweds brief. There are a lot of guests there. They're all friends and family. Everybody wants to say hi. Just try to keep it brief. Set up a time to hang out with them, take them to dinner, game night, whatever it is, for later on, so you can celebrate together intimately.
Number 15 is a given. Drink responsibly. If you don't drink responsibly, make sure you have a ride home. Uber, Lyft, a taxi, something.
Party bus. No, I'm just kidding. Number 16, dance if you can. I mean, some of us can't dance.
We do the Elaine Bennis. Anyway.
If you guys know who that is. Anyway, if you can, get out there and dance and just encourage other people to. But if they don't want to, don't try to make them, because that's also anxiety inducing when you try to make people dance who don't dance. But if you can dance, get out there and have fun and just make it a fun celebration for this newlywed couple.
Eating during the speeches and toast is a no-no unless otherwise invited to do so. So if they're like serving dessert and they're starting with the speeches, yes, you more than likely can eat. Just try to keep it quiet. Don't clank your glasses around and stuff like that. Just,
And be careful taking a bite because you might laugh and spit food everywhere. Oh, that's, a very real vision in my mind when I'm eating.
A spit take. Anyway.
I don't want to laugh and spit everything. All right. So the key here is wait until the cake is cut before you leave. That's usually the sign when they say, okay, you may now leave.
Yeah.
Unless it's certain circumstances and you have to, babysitter called, whatever it is, that's okay. But generally, just wait till the cake is cut.
Yeah. And number 19, this right here. This is the bride and groom's or the couple's day. Don't pop the question to your girlfriend or boyfriend or significant other at their wedding. That's a no-no.
It's not your turn.
Yes.
Just be patient.
Unless you have arranged it with them and they don't mind, then yes, you can. But more than likely, they're going to get pissed off.
Mm-hmm. It's offensive. It's like, we're not enough. You got to upstage us or something.
It's their day. Let them have it. You find another day to pop the question.
Or do it after the wedding when you're on your way home or whatever, and then you're not disrupting anything. You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, weddings probably induce a lot of feelings and are like, oh, we want this. And, you're really happy and excited and you might want to pop the question. Just be kind and considerate to the newlyweds.
Number 20, respect the bridal suite. Don't invite yourself in. She's nervous. She's anxious. She's rushing around trying to get ready. Don't just barge in there and talk to her while she's trying to get ready.
Even for us, like, to bring the flowers to them, it's a little bit awkward,
Right.
because everybody's getting ready, the bridesmaids, and it's hard to tell who the bride is sometimes because they all are in their makeup and hair and have robes on, and so sometimes you're just like, where's the bride? And it just is a little confusing.
Right. If you need to go see the bride, knock on the door. Whoever answers, ask if she's available.
If she wants to see you.
Yeah. And so keep it short and sweet as well.
That's right. Number 21, treat the venue with respect. So these people who own these venues try really hard. I mean, most of them, in my opinion, and in our experience, they try really hard to make this a beautiful venue, and they try their hardest to keep it up, and they put their hard-earned money and heart into this thing. So treat it with respect. Don't just tear it up because you can.
Right. That's just wrong.
Don't trample through the flower beds and, like, oh, here's some free fruit or whatever that I can pick off the vine, or, there's some of these places are farms, working farms. Just be respectful. Just be respectful. That's all I'm saying there.
Yeah.
Well, get on my soapbox about that.
And number 22, if you can't make the wedding, mail your gift as soon as possible.
That's right. All right. That's all that we have for you for the tips on how to be an awesome wedding guest. If you can think of anything that we forgot, please let us know. We'll add it to this list and put it in the show notes. Shannon, can you think of anything else?
I can't right now, no.
The only one thing that I can think of is like parking. Park where they tell you to, not where you want to, because then it just causes havoc and can ruin things at the venue. All right, so now we move on to...
It's listener question time. This is Dear Kim and Shannon. She put your name first. I'm kidding.
Comes first in the alphabet, whatever.
Whatever. Anyway, I'm originally from California, but moved to Wisconsin to be with my fiance. His family is here, and his parents have disabilities that prevent them from traveling across country for a California wedding. Our wedding is next spring, and my whole family lives in California, including my 2 sisters, who are my bridesmaids. My best friend, also a bridesmaid, lives in Illinois. And my last bridesmaid is the only one in close proximity to us, but she's a new friend, and I'm still getting to know her. She's the wife of a groomsman, my fiance's friend since high school.
We don't have the budget for me to fly out there for a bridal shower, and I assume she means California.
Right.
Or even over the holidays. I'm sad that I won't have my mom, sisters, or close aunts to come wedding gown shopping with me. But I really don't want to miss out on every bridal thing that family, bridesmaids usually have together before the big day. Everyone is on a tight budget, especially since they're all making the trek to come out to the wedding in Wisconsin. Do you have or have you heard of any recommendations that may fill some of these gaps? This really sucks being so far away from them during this huge transition. Thank you for your help, Brittany.
Brittany, this was a hard one for us to answer.
Yes, it is a hard one.
My only thing was use your social media outlets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do a live stream of you trying on wedding dresses for your parents, your mom, and, you know, have them sitting at a computer, and you want them to be there for that. Take your laptop with you with the webcam and film it all, or even your phone.
Yeah. Have your bridesmaid that is right there near you go with you. You could even invite your person from Illinois, which is not that far. Maybe she could drive up for the weekend, and they could take care of the recording or the live for you. I was thinking Skype or whatever, so that everybody's kind of there,
right?
You know, and they can give you their ideas. I was thinking the same thing. It's so funny. I think that's the best of all situations because it doesn't cost anything.
Right.
Now, for the bridal shower or parties, that's a little different. I think maybe with just the 2 near you, you know, you could. I mean, I just don't see, if you can't afford to fly out and be with the rest of them, and they can't afford to fly up there, there's really no, unless you drive and meet in the middle kind of thing.
Yeah, but then you won't have the rest of the family.
That's right.
You know, check out fares online, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Southwest, and I don't know if Alaska flies in your general area, but they usually have really great fares sometimes during the year, like right now. So, I mean, check out fares. You compare prices, you know, just maybe you can go out there one weekend when the fares are really cheap. I don't know how long your wedding is. Maybe it's just you flying out.
For one person, it's really doable.
So, I mean, let your family plan your bridal shower or whatever, and see if you can find some, you know, cost-effective flights, some cheap flights available to fly to California.
And you know what could be good? You could get your, like, new in-laws or mother-in-law or your mom or your friends to pitch in just, you know, $20 each to try to get you a ticket to come out for the weekend.
Right.
And you don't even have to do a huge party. You guys could just spend time together. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, there's ways to work this, and I'm sure people will be happy to help.
So if you have suggestions for Brittany that we didn't cover, let us know and we'll pass them along to her.
Yes, absolutely. That's info@fromringtoveil.com. So you can find all of our notes always on our website, fromringtoveil.com. Each show has show notes. So either in your app that you're listening to, or if you're listening to on Facebook or something, you can go to the link that's posted there. The show notes for this show is fromringtoveil.com/147. If you go there, you can see all the notes, everything that we talked about. Well, not everything that we talked about. All the notes. And if we ever have links, they're going to be there too.
Remember, you could reach us at any time by emailing us at info@fromringtoveil.com.
And subscribe to the podcast. Have you subscribed yet? Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube. Join our Facebook page. You'll know when a new show comes out, and you will not miss out on any giveaways or new information that we have.
So until next time, no stress, no worries, keep calm and listen on. Thank you for listening to our podcast. You can find us on Facebook, From Ring to Veil, on Twitter, @From Ring to Veil, and on our website, FromRingToVeil.com.
Music provided by bensound.com.